How to Get Super Rich in the Opportunity Market by TJ Rohleder. We're talking about this book today on Index Card Insights. So this is episode 26 of Index Card Insights for those of you keeping score. And yeah, with that being said, let's get into it. You're going to love it. Now, before I get into today's show, I just want to remind everybody to get over to epicconversions.com. Grab your free copy of this little gem, another little book that you definitely want to pick up because it's completely free. It's a free book, and it comes with giveaway rights. It comes with a giveaway license. So make sure you get over to epicconversions.com and pick this little gem up. This is 12 secrets, 12 mind-blowing reveals on AI and online business. Like, this one's easy, okay? Like, literally, it's a free book with giveaway license. This is easy. You know, there are things in online business that are not easy. They get complicated, but picking this book up is an easy one, all right? So make sure you grab your copy. It's at epicconversions.com. Now, How to Get Super Rich in the Opportunity Market by TJ Rohleder. I just finished reading this one, and I just finished reading it this morning. And I just wanted to kind of I got 10 points that I want to make about this book. And these are just my thoughts. You know, I wrote them down quickly right after I read this book, and I wanted to share them with you. First of all, let me say I'm going to share with you my 10 thoughts on this book, and then I'll tell you when I'm done if I think that this is worth your time to pick up. All right? That's what I'll tell you. So with that being said, let me get into this. Oh, before I give you my 10 points, let me give a quick shout out to Marlon Sanders. Marlon Sanders is an awesome marketer. He's the one who recommended this book actually to me. So make sure you check out Sanders and check out his live streams. He does live streams all over the place, Facebook, Instagram. But check out Marlon Sanders. Yeah, so that being said, let's talk about this book. All right. Now, 10 things I learned from reading TJ Rohleder's How to Get Super Rich in the Opportunity Market. And for those of you guys who don't know what he means by the opportunity market, he's basically talking about the get rich quick market, the make money online market, people who want to make money fast, right? The people who are looking to get super rich, right? That's the opportunity market. People who are just looking for quick opportunities. So the first thing that I'll tell you about this book that I learned early on in this book was that TJ Rohleder has a really good understanding of the opportunity market. He understands these people very, very well. And it kind of made me realize, you know, I also have this really strong understanding of the opportunity market. And I think as you read the book, you definitely get a sense for either this idea that yeah, that's me. I understand that. I understand my market like that too. Or you think, wow, this guy really understands his market. I thought I understood my market, but maybe I need to dig a little bit deeper to understand who my market really is. So I think that's one thing this book will do is it will inspire you to dig a little bit deeper to understand who your market is if you don't already know who they are. So it's really good at that. I mean, he writes in a very down to earth style, but he understands his market. He understands his market completely, and it's pretty inspiring to read. It's inspiring to read a book by someone who does understand their market so well and speaks about that market. So it's cool in that way. The second thing I'll tell you about this. Is TJ Rohleder is not his market, right? He does not represent his market, but he used to be the person he sells to, right? You know, if that makes sense. He used to be the guy who was always seeking the new opportunity. He used to be the guy who was looking to make money quick. He used to be the guy who was looking for a miracle, but he's not that guy anymore, but he sells to that guy. Or girl, you know, I'm saying guy loosely here. He sells to that person, right? Now, because of that, throughout this book, there's an air of superiority. You know, I don't think he means to do it, but he definitely sees himself as a little bit better. It just comes across like he sees himself as a little bit better than the people he sells to. He calls them delusional in the book. I mean, he literally calls them delusional several times in this book. They're lazy, they're delusional, they're looking for a miracle that doesn't exist. Like, he says all these things in this book. So there's definitely an air of superiority. He definitely feels like he's better than the people he's selling to, in some ways. Now, at the same time, he loves the people he sells to. You can tell he loves these people. He loves these people. He thinks they're great. But there's definitely an air of superiority throughout this book. And that's something that, it grows tiresome after a while. It really does. To me, it does. There's definitely an ego involved. And, the thing about that is I don't know any entrepreneurs who don't have egos. I have an ego. I don't know any entrepreneurs who don't have egos. So it doesn't surprise me, but it's definitely on full effect in this book. So anyways, moving on. Number 3, Rohleder sees his market as delusional. Like I said, this is a very honest book is what I'm trying to say here. And that is refreshing, right? It's refreshing because it's so honest. It gives you the nitty gritty, down to it, bare bones, exactly what's happening kind of thing in this book, right? He doesn't pull any punches. He's giving it to you straight. No chaser with this one, right? Again, when he talks about his market, he sees them as delusional. I mean, think about it. Who do you think's going to read this book? Like, a lot of his market is probably who bought this book. This came out in 2009, and when it came out, I guarantee you a lot of his market bought this book. He calls them delusional in this book. He says they're looking for a miracle. God love them. That's what he says. God love them. They're looking for a miracle. I mean, it's very honest, right? And our industry, in the internet marketing space, it is so full of posturing. It is so full of people who are not being honest. They're telling a version of the truth that, it's refreshing to see someone speaking in such a candid way, right? And I love it. I love it for that. The fourth thing I can tell you about this book is that Rohleder, he practices two-step direct mail marketing, okay? And he does this to separate the small group from the big group. And what do I mean by that? I just mean that, basically, he sends ads out in the mail, right, to a list of people, and he offers them something for a very small amount of money, right? And he does this knowing he's probably going to lose a little money on that initial offering. He does this so that he can separate that group out from, a large group of people who probably aren't going to care about what he's selling. Once he's got that group of people who bought his initial thing, this customer list, who's bought his low ticket thing or has raised their hand for his free thing, then he spends a lot of his money selling them bigger things. He focuses more of his attention on selling them bigger, higher ticket items. So this two-step direct mail marketing is not new. It's as old as the hills. I was recently reading a book about Lyman Wood. That's how he made all his money with two-step marketing, pretty much. Two-step by mail direct response marketing is how he made a lot of his money. And TJ Rohleder is no different. He's doing the same thing. This was in 2009. So we got to flash forward to 2023. I mean, this book was 13 years ago. So does two-step direct mail marketing still work today? Yeah, of course it does. Does it still work in the opportunity market today, though? That's one thing I'm not as sure about. I don't see a lot of the way he got started was in ads. We'll talk about that in a bit. But does that stuff still work today as well as it did? I think it still works, but you have to find the right places to advertise, and you just have to. Things change. You know what I mean? 2009 to 2023, it's a different place out there. The world's a little bit different. He was talking about things that he was doing in the 80s and in the 90s. which things that was working in the 80s and 90s, they're not going to work as well today. A lot of the lessons transfer really, really well, but the actual things that he was doing, maybe not quite as well. I think when he's talking about using small ads to get started, I think, yeah, a version of that still works. But it depends on what market you're in, and it depends on what you're trying to sell, if like actual small ads and papers could actually work. Because in 2009, you know, the printed word was still very, very viable. But in 2023, it's just not as viable. The printed word, it still matters. In fact, I was reading that there's a resurgence of the printed magazine coming on. And I don't know how much of that is from the pandemic bubble or what, but I was reading that. So I don't know. Anyways, the point is there's a little bit of a disconnect between the year this came out, which is 2009, and the year right now, which is 2023. So everything he talks about in this book, if you want to apply directly to your business, it's got to be put through the time filter. You know what I mean? You got to think, okay, how would something like this apply today? How could I use the lessons in this book today, right? There's a little bit of a time disconnect there that you have to compensate for, I would say. Not as bad as some books, but it is there, right? So anyways, two-step direct mail marketing, separate the small group from the big group. That's one of the big lessons in this book. The fifth thing I would tell you about this book is he's willing to go negative on the front end to acquire a customer with the intention of making that back tenfold on the back end, right? Rolletter's made millions and millions of dollars doing this, okay? Multiple millions of dollars, you know, going negative on the front end to acquire a customer to make that money back tenfold on the back end, selling them higher ticket stuff. Now, that's something that applies directly to what we do on the internet. It's the same thing. If you're you know, giving something away for free, trying to get those hand raisers to put those people on a list, if you're selling them low ticket products on the front end, using JVs to do it, or just you know, using paid advertising to do it, selling them something for cheap, then to promote higher ticket stuff to them on the back. And once you got them on a list, you're basically separating the small group from the big group. That's as old as time. People have been doing that for a long time. So again, you put it through that time filter, but it's the same thing that's happening today. So anyways, the next thing I tell you about this book is that this whole book was converted from an interview, all right, which I thought was amazing. That's a great way to leverage content, you know. Rolletter did an interview with one of his friends, and he took that interview, transcribed it, and had it converted into this book, right? And I thought that was amazing. And you think about it, and it's like, well, yeah, that's amazing. And not only is it amazing, it's like, how much of that could you be doing? How much of that could I be doing? Are we leveraging our products enough? Are we getting enough mileage out of our products? You know, and that's something I always try to live by. This idea of stretching my content as far as it can go. I don't want to put in 2 hours of work and receive 2 hours of pay. I want to put in 2 hours of work and receive like 3 weeks worth of pay, right? And what that means is when I create something, I want it to like stretch as far as possible. And I love the fact that this book started out as an interview. I think that's amazing, because if you think about it, that interview is probably long gone by now. It was something that was probably recorded in 2008, but in 2009, it was turned into a book. And in 2023, I'm still talking about this book. So you tell me. I mean, that's amazing. Anyways, another thing Rolletter talks about, which I thought was pretty profound, was he talks about hard products and soft products. And what he means by that is, like, when he says hard products, he's talking about products that are pretty much done for you. Like, everything's in there. It's like a business in a box. You have to do very little. Right? It's got the sales material included. It's got, like, you know, the actual product itself that you're supposed to sell. It's got everything included for you. It's like a turnkey business in a box. He calls that a hard product. So that the people who buy that product have to do very, very little. In fact, he says that the less your customers have to do when they buy your product, the more money it's going to make. And then the other kind of products that he sells are called soft products. He considered this book a soft product because these soft products, they're not businesses in a box. They don't have a done-for-you solution. It's not like completely done for you. So as a result, it's not going to sell as well. It's great information and it's awesome, but it's not going to sell as well. And Rohleder says he doesn't make a lot of money on soft products, right? The products that make a lot of money are hard products. And what he meant by that is products that are completely done for you solutions, right? So I thought that was a profound, just a profound, statement. This idea of separating your products between hard products and soft products. And I look at a book like this and I think, man, this book is awesome, right? But Rohleder considered this book a soft product. He didn't consider this book something that would really push the needle for him financially. And he was right, obviously. He knows his market, right? They want done-for-you solutions. They want fast. They want easy. They want, big results. Big money, fast, and easy. That's what they want, right? That's not what this book, is it? This book is an educational product. It's not a done-for-you solution. It's not going to give you anything fast and easy. So it's interesting. I love the way he separates those. Soft products, hard products. It's amazing. The eighth thing I can tell you about this book is that Rohleder started his business with small ads, him and his wife. They started with small ads in the back of magazines, like Get Rich Quick magazines or whatever. And I haven't seen a Get Rich Quick printed magazine in forever. I don't even know if they still make those or not. But anyways, that's how they started. Printing small ads in the back of these Get Rich Quick magazines. And he said that's a great way to make some money. It's not a great way to, get completely mega rich. He said that, it's hard to lose money with small ads in the back of magazines because they don't cost very much to run and you will get some results. But he said it's hard to get mega rich doing that. And he said what happened was they graduated to direct mail, right? Direct mail where you get a list of people's addresses and people who are interested in the kind of stuff you're selling, and you send out direct mail to their houses, right? They graduated to that, and he said that's where all the money's at, in direct mail. But they started with the small ads. So I thought that was interesting. So if you're out there right now, and you're thinking, how can I get started? That's not going to cost me a lot of money. But I want to get started into some kind of paid advertising for my business. You might think about the back of magazines or newspapers, paid ads, small paid ads. And is there an equivalent of that on the internet, right? Because it's not Facebook and it's not YouTube. I'll tell you that. At least not from my standpoint. I don't know. Anyways, that's how he got started. I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, the ninth thing that I'll tell you about this book is that in chapter 3 of this book, he starts something that he calls the A to Z concept. The A to Z success formula is what he calls it. This A to Z concept is awesome, right? It's absolutely awesome. And I think it's brilliant because what happens is it starts in chapter 3. So he's got some preliminary stuff in the first 2 chapters. But then in chapter 3, he starts what he calls the A to Z success formula. Excuse me. All right. And what this is it's a series of secrets. You got 26 letters in the alphabet. All right. And there's 26 secrets that he reveals in his A to Z success formula. And what happens is every single chapter is a few more. Like chapter 3 is like, what is it? It's chapter 3. Let's see. Chapter 3 is secret A. Secret A through secret F. Secret A through F. A through F is chapter 3, right? And then chapter 4 goes on to talk about secrets G through K, right? So basically, most of this book is him working through this, like, A to Z concept, which I think is fantastic, man, because you feel like you get so much, you know, there's so many different little secrets revealed in this A to Z concept. And if you think about it, like if you would have said, hey, I got 26 secrets for you, that sounds cool. And it does sound like a lot of secrets. But if you say, hey, I got an A to Z success formula, and then you reveal all these secrets, first of all, I mean, it just sounds like a lot, man. You go from A all the way to Z, and it just sounds like more. It sounds like more than 26 secrets. It feels like more than 26 secrets. It feels complete. You know what I mean? If you say I got 26 secrets I'm going to reveal to you, then people might think, well, man, this is pretty good, but you know, 33 would be better, or 52 would be better. You know what I mean? It feels like there could be more. But when you got an A to Z success formula, that's 26 secrets, but it feels complete. It feels like you don't need any more secrets than that. But this whole book is basically those 26 secrets. And I think that's fantastic. And that concept, that A to Z formula, that A to Z concept is fantastic. That's something I want to take away from this book. I'd love to do some A to Z, like, you know, I'd love to do some A to Z material. I think that would be, you know, fantastic. I think that's something that could translate to special reports. I think it could translate to, you know, email newsletters. I think it could translate in a lot of ways. I love the A to Z concept for product creation. It's great. And then the 10th thing I can tell you about this book is that it's a short read, man. It's 186 pages. You know, it took me a few weeks to get through it just because I'm so busy. And to be honest, I need to read more. I need to dedicate an hour of time a day to reading. I try to dedicate an hour of time to reading, but I get very busy and I don't always do it. I'm working on it. But anyways, it's a short read. You can probably get through this 186 page book in like, who knows, however long it takes you to read, I don't know. You could probably get through it in less than a week, I would say, for most people. For me, it took a few weeks to get through it just because, you know, I'm not reading every day like I should be. But it's a great book. It's 186 pages. It's well worth your time. It's not very thick. And yeah, I think it's worth your time and effort to pick up. I think I picked this up on Thrift Books, thriftbooks.com for like $6 or something like that. It wasn't very expensive. By the way, I love Thrift Books. If you've ever been to Thrift Books, thriftbooks.com is a cool little bookstore. If you want an alternative to Amazon, if you're looking for another place to buy books besides Amazon, thriftbooks.com I bought a lot of books from them over the years, and you know, they always get here pretty quick, and it's just a good place to buy used books, man. So anyways, this is a nice book. I like it. It's a great one for the collection. If you're in the opportunity market, if you sell to people who want to make money on the internet, this is a good book to have. Rollletter knows his market very, very well. You want to pick this up, if for nothing else, just to get to know your market better. It's a great book. It's really worth your time. It's worth your money. And that's what I'd say about that book. That's about all I got for today, guys. Make sure you get over to epicconversions.com, grab your copy of 12 Secrets, and I'll see you in the next episode of Index Card Insights. Peace now.